What it do, glorious gamers? It is your boy Godhand back again. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sorry I had to burp there. Let's get right into it, guys. So, we're not new to controversy in the gaming community. We've had our fair share of people trying to take down our community, namely how creative the developers and those who make games can be, and what we as consumers can enjoy as gamers. And so we've learned to bob and weave and duck and roll, and we've done all some good lefts, some good rights, and we've done a good job of keeping this community alive. But for the most part, what I want to talk about is the fact that I don't think as a community we have considered our adversaries to be more than individuals. I think for the most part we have considered these attacks uncoordinated in the sense that it's not really a government thing, or it's not really a UN thing. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. But I think the time where we can be naive about this, I think the time where we, could say, oh, hey, you could be conspiratorial, saying, it's not just these individuals, these senators, or this, this small group. It's just these small. I think that time is over. And we need to wake up to the reality that it's not one person, and it's not just one little group. And the reason why we know that now is undoubtedly because of Anita Sarkeesian. Of all the things she's trying to do, she has showed us beyond a shadow of a doubt, guys, that we are under attack, and serious attack, from governments. Now, I know you all know that she went to the UN, okay, and that speaks volumes, and that is really what told me. This is something I've already honestly known, but as far as me telling it to other people, it's been more. They've been able to deny it, or they've been able to say, oh, this evidence isn't too strong, but now that's not the case. Okay, Anita Sarkeesian, and I forgot the other one. You guys have all seen it. You all probably know her name, which doesn't really matter. So they went to the UN, and they were able to speak to the UN on the problems that women are facing. Okay, now this is the UN, so this is the United Nations, and for the most part, they are a world governing body. So they deal with just the things that happen in the Western world, but the problems that press humanity for the most part. So you have these first world problem people going to the UN and telling them about this epidemic, this horrible serial harassment, I think is the worst term that they've been able to put to it so far. This serial harassment of women for no reason. And of course we know that is not the case. That's been debunked thousands of times now, and that is not the case. Yet for some reason, we have seen this rhetoric parroted and echoed time and time again, not only in these hug boxes like Tumblr, there's a website called Feminist Free Thought Blog, things like that. These spaces where this type of nonsense is allowed to flourish. They've transcended those areas and now have made it into what we call mainstream. Anita Sarkeesian has had time to go on places like CNN, like Democracy Now!, which I was very surprised. That's one of the more niche outlets for media that I did not expect such shoddy journalism to be present, but there it is. She's been. You guys have seen it. And now, and it was at that point where I was like, it really makes no sense for all of these journalism outlets with all this resource, right? With all these resources, to not know that she is a con artist, right? It really makes no sense for them to unquestionably allow her to, and those who are echoing her message, to come on these networks and say what they're saying. It made no sense back then, and it absolutely made no sense for the UN. Right, I was talking about how the resources that CNN and Fox News and all these places that later on have, right? But those resources are dwarfed when it comes to the UN, right? The UN has multiple governments that help facilitate the running of the organization. So there is no shadow of a doubt now what we are facing. I think what's going on here from top to bottom is they're using this, and I think it's everybody should see it now. They're using the Anita Sarkeesian, the Anita Sarkeesian censorship movement, or the feminist censorship movement, to gain control of the internet. And I think Anita Sarkeesian fully understands and knows this, and I think the other one that was there with her, she's the one that helped start the whole Gamergate thing. I think they both fully understand what is going on. And, hey, they're making their little bit of money. They don't care. It didn't take much to buy them. There's no possible way. There is no possible conceivable way that they think that this is something that's only going to be that will only help women, or that will help the internet. There's no possible way they think giving government the ability to fully and wholly censor what is said on the internet, what is posted, the content that is able to be accessed on the internet. There is no possible way that they think that the governments will not abuse this. Impossible. So, because it has happened, and it has happened in other places where the government has had control. So what we're dealing with now is just a full-on and open attack on the internet, on our freedoms to say what we want, to play what we want. I mean, if it was just a thing of, oh, I don't like these games, then she just wouldn't buy it, all right? And that would be the end of it. But that's not the case. We are under full-fledged attack, guys. And Anita Sarkeesian is not the target here, okay? All she is a figure piece. She is a mouthpiece. That's it, right? I'm almost 100. I'm not gonna say almost. I am 100% convinced. If there was a way for people to go and see who is giving her money, unquestionably there will be tax dollars inside of her account. Unquestionably, there is no doubt in my mind. And so it's become clear what we have to do now, guys. Paying attention to Anita Sarkeesian, really, for the most part, I can't see making sense of it. We have to take the fight, and be vocal when it comes to government. Okay, that's what I would say we have to do. We have to bring the fight to them. We have to, make sure that we know that they cannot hide behind the Anita Sarkeesians and whoever else they're gonna let pop up under the feminist name to say video games are this and that, and the internet is so awful to women and needs to be censored. So, I would say direct the attacks at the FCC. I would say direct your criticisms and everything else towards those people who have control in the government to make this thing happen. Because, like I said, if Anita Sarkeesian fails, they can just pop up a new one. She does not matter in this. She absolutely does not matter in this. So and that's what I gotta say about it, guys. It's not a conspiracy if it's right in front of us. It really isn't. So I mean, we gain nothing out of from being naive about this. It really doesn't help us at all. So I would say just don't bother with saying, oh, I'm looking at it crazily, or I'm or I'm being, conspiratorial, because like I said, it's right in front of us, guys. There's no reason she should have been at the UN. They know what she's saying is nonsense. It's inconceivable that they couldn't figure that out. The UN could not figure that out. It's not possible. But yeah, so that's what I think about that. And moving on to other news, I'm a little bit riled up. I don't know if you guys could tell. But moving on to other news, guys, let's talk about the Xbox problems that has been happening. I don't know about PS3. Actually, PS3 had their own little movement that they had where fix PSN, I think it was. I don't know how that turned out. Hopefully it turned out good. And hopefully if it didn't turn out how exactly you guys wanted on the PS3 over there or the PSN network, you guys are still fighting for it. I really hope so. But on the PlayStation, on the Xbox network, there's been some crazy problems, some crazy shortages. Kicked off at Xbox Live, all kinds of crap, and we are paying $60 for this, guys. Why are we paying money for a subpar experience? I mean, again, on PC, they don't pay Steam or whoever to play these games. All they do is pay their internet bill and they play the games. And there's far less problems on the PC when the PC when it comes to that. Far less problems. I mean, we still on Xbox we still have to deal with hackers, modders, I mean, people who make past Call of Duties unplayable, right? And we have to pay $60 to have this unplayable experience on what on MW2. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So Phil Spencer came out and made a little apology or whatever, or said, "Oh, we're sorry, guys." No, screw that, Phil Spencer. It does. I don't want to hear your apology, man. I want my fucking money back, dude. That's what I want. Okay, that's what I want. It is absolutely ridiculous that this is still going on. I'm paying $60, and what's more, I can't even access Netflix, which has nothing to do, or YouTube, which had nothing to do with the Xbox Live. Why can I not access these third party content providers if I don't have my Xbox Live up and working, which I'm paying for, which I did pay for? I have the subscription. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not acceptable. I think we need to have Xbox take away the $60 to play, because they're obviously not interested in fixing Xbox Live and having it be something that's not going to give these problems, right? If Xbox Live was down for 1 hour every year, I would barely accept that. That's barely acceptable for what I'm paying. It's barely acceptable. If I have to give them $1, if I have to give Microsoft $1 for Xbox Live, it's unacceptable for it to be down for more than an hour for a year. And that's my standard. And I think that's a damn fair standard, because I'm paying money. All right? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's not acceptable in any way. And I hope you guys see that too. I hope you guys aren't there defending Xbox Live and saying, "Oh, it's okay. Hey, you know what? Charge us $10 more. Maybe that will help." That will not help. And I hope, and I really, the thing is, these things happen where people would defend Xbox and defend these giant corporations who don't have our best interest in hand, but just want to make the extra dollar. And guys, that only hurts our games. It only hurts our communities. Hold these people accountable. It is not acceptable for them to get away with this. So don't let them. All right? Let me know what you guys think. It is your boy Godhand. Until next time, I'm out.